Today on Beyond.
It was the worst thing that's ever happened in my life.
She can't accept her father's sudden death. Is there anything James can say to help her let go? But first,
when I got that first phone call, I felt like my whole world had fallen apart.
her husband Rick was a Grand National race car driver whose accident left him in a coma for 11 years before he passed away in 1997.
And he would always tell me, walking out the door, Deborah, I'm safer in that NASCAR than you are driving down South Padre Island Drive.
Rick was only 31 when the accident happened, and his wife was left alone to care for their 2 young daughters.
It was lonely, and I was faced with making very life or death medical decisions for him. And I guess that one of my concerns while he laid in that coma was he in pain, or did he feel trapped? And maybe I can find that out today.
Using his extraordinary psychic ability to communicate with spirits, he's transformed lives by unlocking mysteries and sharing secrets from the other side. James Van Praagh, best-selling author, renowned medium, and your connection to the world beyond.
Hi, Deborah?
Yes.
Deborah, James, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hi, and you're Tiffany?
Yes.
Hi, Tiffany, nice to meet
Nice to
you.
meet you.
I know you're here because your husband passed away, right? And
Yes.
that's your dad?
Yes.
And he died in a car accident, race car, yes?
Correct. Yes.
Race car accident, okay. So we'll try to get him through. How long ago was this passing? Was it a long time ago?
It was in 97.
97, okay. Well, we'll do what we can do, okay? We'll see what happens here. Deborah, you worry too much, he's telling me. You really worry too much. And I don't know if you've had ulcer condition.
Yes, I did.
He's talking about the worrying. I hear you. And he's talking to me about you. He's always worried about you anyway, but there's worry about you because the ulcerous condition, and that you still have that. You know, it hasn't really, it was worse, and it's gone down, but it's still present.
You're right.
Okay? Well,
Okay.
he's right.
He's right. He knows.
And it's just, he's going to give you things that you understand.
Okay.
And he said, love you. He loves you, loves you all. He loves you all. And is there another child also in the family? Is there, no? Just not
We
one more?
lost one.
You lost one. Is it a
We
boy
lost
that
one.
you lost? Or?
We didn't really know. I
It's a
thought it
boy.
was a boy.
It's a boy. He's with the boy. Somebody, another child. I'm with him. He's with him. He's with him. And we were going to name him after me.
Right.
He said we were going to name him after me. It was going to be Junior.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
Richard or Rick
Richard.
Junior?
Yes.
Junior? Right. And I don't know which one of you got married.
I just got married a couple months ago.
Okay. Because he was at the wedding. He was at your wedding.
Okay.
And I know you had to feel him around. Now, something happened at the cake at your wedding. He's telling me. I don't know if something fell off the cake or something dropped.
I dropped one piece on my dress.
You dropped the cake.
On my dress.
Thank you. Because he said he pushed it. He pushed it.
Okay. He wanted to be the life of the party.
He did. Well, that's his personality, too. He was always a great sense of humor.
Yes.
And he always joked. You know, he's a jokester. He really is. And he wanted you to know that he was there. Because, you know, in spirit, they know that time is not like we have time. It's very different. So they're aware of encounters and experiences that we're going to have. And he knew, of course, about your wedding. And he knew that you'd be here in this show. So he had us do this in order for you to be validated now, okay? So it was him who pushed that cake. Isn't that interesting?
That's very interesting.
Isn't it? It really is.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to have a baby. So to let you know, you will have a baby. There'll be a baby coming to you. There's a baby going to be coming to you. And it'll be a male baby. It'll be a male baby. Okay? Because he wanted to ask him that, he said. And he was in the hospital for a while after his accident, and like in a coma,
Yes.
a coma state for quite a while.
A long
then?
time.
Okay. Because he keeps on talking about you need to know that he's in and out of the body, and he's not stuck there, because it's important that you know that.
Right.
All right. He said you have to know this today, and he says part of the reason you came here today was to find out about this.
Right.
If where he was when that was happening. Is that right?
Right.
Okay, because he said, I was in and out and I was aware of it. And many times, people who are in these situations are observing the body. They're observing the body. I know you, I hear you, he's talking very fast, very, very fast. And I know that you either have a checking book that you both shared, a common account
Yes.
with his name and yours on
Yes.
the checkbook,
Yes.
and you still have that, right?
I have one of them.
Okay, but you have with his name on the checkbook.
Yes.
Because he said she wants to keep it because my name is on there.
Right.
Okay? Just so you know. He wants to give love to your family too. Your mother's alive still, isn't she, your mother?
Yes,
And
she
your,
is.
and your daddy also, please?
Yes.
Because he wants to give love there, and they always had a nice rapport with him.
Yes.
And they want to say thank you for treating him like a son,
Yes.
because he was like a son to them.
He
okay?
was.
And I love that feeling. I love that feeling.
And they loved him.
Oh, and it's shared. It's a shared type of thing. And I love going by a pond or a lake. And that's it's right by your property or something, or you go there. You understand that? Because he's right with you.
Okay.
When you think about him, you meditate about him right there at that lake.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll leave you with that, all right?
Okay.
Thank you, sweetie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I don't know if you've had ulcer condition.
I do worry a lot, and I do have an ulcer. And I've been under a lot of stress the last year and a half with the girls getting married and finishing college, so it's kind of flared back up. And I hadn't shared that even with the girls.
And I know that you either have a checking book that you both shared, a common account.
The checkbook I kept because it was the last checkbook out of our checking account, and it's just kept in a box with all his memorabilia that I have, jackets and pictures and newspaper clippings and things.
He's in and out of the body, and he's not stuck there. That he wants you to know that, because it's important that you know that.
Right.
All right?
Why was that so important for you?
Because if you think about 11 years and daily, for 11 years, people are poking and prodding you and wanting to run this kind of test and that kind of test, and you don't know if they're feeling pain because there's no reaction. And you don't want them to be hurting.
Sure.
You don't want them in pain their whole thing.
Now, did you ever ask him to stop racing?
No, I did not. Because that was his love of life, and I never wanted him to hold that against me. You know, say one day that you asked me to quit, now I'm unhappy. I mean, he was very happy. And years later, I said, you know, if you have to be in the condition he was in, that I was glad he was doing something he loved.
Now, we buried him in his race uniform because we all know that that's what he loved.
Still to come.
Your sister, is there a problem with her marriage?
I
Okay.
don't think so.
Okay.
Really?
It was me. It was me.
It was
I
you.
was the one.
What else will her father reveal about her? Plus,
He loves all of you, but I think you're the one that needs help.
what did James reveal that makes this teen so defensive?
Yeah, but that's nobody's business.
Find out next on Beyond.
A woman named Nancy wrote into the show because her two teenage daughters were having a hard time dealing with her dad's sudden death. Nancy thought that the girls were acting out, and if I was able to reach their father, it might help bring the family back together again. Here's what happened.
Bill was my ex-husband. We've been divorced 7 years, but it's remained amicable, and he's been very much a part of my daughter's lives. He was everybody's best friend.
My dad was a very wonderful guy. He never pushed himself on you, but you could always go for him for anything.
He was kayaking one Sunday morning, and he fell in the water after a heart attack, and he died from drowning.
It was the worst thing that's ever happened in my life. It's affected me more than anybody knows. And I'm sure it was the same thing for Chelsea.
Since Bill's death, she's gone from 110 to 94 pounds. She quit school, and drugs became her source of comfort. There's a lot of pain inside. I want this reading for Chelsea because I am afraid that she could be dead within another month or two if she cannot begin the grieving process for her father.
I hope he says something that will turn my life around. That'll make a difference.
The man that comes in, who's your dad, and he's here, and he's strongly here, and he's been here. I know that you're angry that he's dead. You're upset, and he knows that too.
Yeah.
And he keeps on saying, why'd you have to go? Why'd you have to go? Okay? Well, there's something about money here.
Okay.
And he said, he's talking about you owing people some money.
Yes.
He said it's been weighing on you, and he said to me, she always looks for help from other people instead of doing it herself.
Yes.
And it's almost like you need others to help you, and you need to find your own power, your own strength, and you can. And it's much easier for you to call someone else instead of using your own power.
Okay, I very much understand.
Who's the Rob person? Or Bobby?
Bobby.
Who's that?
Bobby is his brother.
He's talking to me about it, Bob or Bobby. And what does that mean? Is he still alive, Bobby? Is he passed over?
He's
still
still
here?
alive.
Did he try to help you or want to help you after he died? Or did you? And
Yeah.
what is it? He's very concerned about you guys. Concerned more about you than these two. Why? I don't know why. I'm just trying to ask him why. He loves all of you. But I think you're the one that needs help. Because I think his sister, I think you're okay and you understand these things happening, but you're not self-destructive.
Oh, I know.
I don't know if you go under a pier, because he's showing me you wanted to be by yourself, and I'm sitting there by myself, okay?
Right.
And he said that you've been alone lately,
Right.
since he's died, and that you escape into your own world. Did you have a picture of your father after he passed over in your bedroom?
Yes.
Okay. And was there a point once where you put it under your pillow? You went to sleep with it under the pillow?
Yeah, but that's nobody's business.
That is so great.
Okay.
That really is. He wants you to be nice to your mom, and she cries at night because she feels she's hurt you, and she doesn't understand why she's trying to do the best she can, and she doesn't understand why you are so angry at her. And it's like you're directing your anger to her, and she hasn't done anything. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Thanks, sweetie. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's talking about you owing people some money.
I mean, she has such a big problem with money. She has forever, especially when she was with my dad.
I don't know if you go under a pier.
I go down to the harbor and sit, and there's a pier there, and it's where I like to go alone.
Did you have a picture of your father after he passed over? And was there a point once where you put it under your pillow?
When he brought up the picture, it was like Dad coming through and teasing me. And he liked to do that when he was live.
He pointed out some things that surprised me. Pretty much, I need to take care of my sister.
It was a sense of closure that was very unexpected. Bill came in and let me know that Chelsea's strong and holding on great. It set me at peace, and I'm hoping it opened a door in our lives.
Coming up next, a message wings its way to James.
He goes to that bird all the time, and the bird knows he's there, and the bird acts weird all of a sudden. And you say, who's around this bird? Right?
The bird goes nuts.
Why is her father driving her bird insane? Find out next on Beyond.
Someone in this area whose father passed over, he didn't get a chance to say goodbye to him. I don't know if he was in a different state. And there are two sisters alive. He has two daughters. You have a sister also? And is somebody living in a different state or going to be going to a different state, like living there?
Yes, I do have family in different country.
Oh, a different country.
Yes.
Are they visiting you soon, or they just come in the
Yes.
summertime or something?
Yes, they do come often. They do
Okay,
come
hold
out.
on. Was there talk about Christmas time?
Yes, they come at Christmas time.
Thank you.
They do come
All
at
right.
Christmas.
Your father's here, okay? And he wants to talk to you. And your daddy's telling me that he's been with you a lot, and you've been asking him for forgiveness, okay? And there doesn't need to be any. Your father could not speak before he passes over, he's telling me, and I don't know if there's some obstruction in his mouth or
He had his teeth taken out right before he died.
Okay. Because he's showing me something was wrong here in the mouth.
Yeah, he couldn't talk.
And he couldn't speak. He couldn't
Yeah.
communicate, he's telling me also. And who was not there when your dad passed over? Did you not make it there in time?
My mom and I couldn't make it there.
Okay.
I was only 13 when he died.
He doesn't want you to worry about that. He said you've been worried about that your whole life, that you weren't there when he died. You understand that?
Yes.
And he doesn't want you to, I hear you. He doesn't want you going through the rest of your life blaming yourself and being upset that you weren't there, because it does not matter, okay? It does not matter. And your sister, is there a problem with her marriage?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It was me. It was me.
Is that you?
It was me.
It was
I
you.
was the one.
Is there a problem with the marriage?
Yes.
I hear that. Has it been resolved?
No.
Is there a divorce or situation?
Going through.
I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Why do I love it? Because you've been repressed for too long. You understand that? And you're not being true to yourself, okay? Because he's telling me he wants to be your father from the spirit world. He's trying to take care of you, but how can he take care of you if you don't take care of yourself, okay? I'm telling you, that situation is over. It's coming to an end. It's closing. And you're uncovering layers of yourself which you've never seen before.
I am.
And it's fabulous.
Yeah,
it's
you're right.
fantastic. I love it. And your father's trying to help you, the spirit's trying to help you. I don't know who had the bird in the cage.
We do. I have a bird in a cage at home.
Okay, Dad's talking about the bird in the cage. I understand that. He goes to that bird all the time, and the bird knows he's there, and the bird acts weird all of a sudden, and you've been wondering who's around the bird, and you've said, who's around this bird, right?
The bird goes nuts. And I'm always saying, I can't believe it. The bird literally goes nuts. It hops around the cage from side to side.
And it doesn't happen all the time. It's only certain times.
Yeah.
Because it's your father's energy, and it's affecting the bird, and he's trying to get you to know that he's there. Because he's never been there when you were growing up, and it's his way of...
He was always away.
And it's, exactly.
He was
and
a
it's his way
fisherman.
of letting you know he's there now. He can be more of a father to you now than he was on the earth. Right? Okay? I don't care what your sister and your brother think of you. I could care less. Who cares? They don't pay your rent. Right? Heck with them.
It's true.
Right? So, you know what? They don't understand you. You don't understand them. You're individuals that are different. No one understands me. Do I care? You can't. You've got to do what's right for you. You've got to do what's right for you, and you've got to be honest with yourself. I just wanted you to come here because I want to give you a hug, and I want to tell you how proud I am and your father is, and on behalf of your father, I want to give you a hug for him. Come here, sweetie. Good for you. Good boy. He's been with you a lot, and you've been asking him for forgiveness.
I want to start by asking you why you feel you need forgiveness from your dad.
Because I left my marriage after 23 years. My father was a very family-orientated man, so for me, I had to ask my father's forgiveness. And then when James said, "You don't need," your father said, "You don't need to," and that just, I felt like a weight was just lifted off my shoulders.
I don't care what your sister and your brother think of you. I could care less.
You got very emotional. It really hit you somewhere. Can you tell us why?
I come from a strong Italian Catholic family, and I just want to leave it at that.
Right.
Yeah.
But
So
today
it's
you
just-
feel like you
I'm
you
fine.
have some closure.
And I've been fine, you know, but this just made it all perfectly clear to me. It was just amazing the reading that he did. I never would have thought my father would have pulled through.
Well, I'm glad you found something
Yeah,
here today with your
I
father.
did, thank you.
Thank you. Goodness. Thank you, Nina. Thank you.
In a coma?
Yes.
A coma state for quite a while
A long
then?
time.
Because he keeps on talking about you need to know that he's in and out of the body and he's not stuck there. Here we are.
Yes, as
Yeah,
always.
as always,
You know I
yes.
have some questions
that's how
for
we
you.
learn. Okay.
Well, I wanted to ask you about Deborah, whose husband was in a coma for 11 years.
Right.
Did you tell her her husband's spirit was in and out of the body while in a
Yes,
coma?
I believe so. I told her he was in above a body and in and out. They do that a lot. That's very common, actually.
Well,
when
that's
there's
something people talk about a lot because people are not sure if the person can hear. Can they hear when you're
Yes.
talking? Or is the spirit just gone? Are they still?
They come in and out, and many times they will talk about things that happened while they were in a coma state that the family did, and because they're very aware of it. It's kind of like they're in between dimensions, if you will, because it's still stuck to the body, they're still connected to the body, but yet they're out of it in the spirit, and they can, you know, it's almost like us with a dream state. And we go out and we go in quite often too. In our physical body, when we're alive, we do that, when we go to sleep at night.